So, Spider-Man No Way Home. Yo, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Spider-Man 3. I thought it was time that I brought back Marvel content because Marvel is on fire at the moment. Literally. One more episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier, and then we have Loki in June. So if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. Check us out on Instagram at Warstu if you want to see the face behind the voice. Also check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, aka The Nightmare. So there's been a lot of fake news, a lot of leaks, a lot of rumors going around the internet for such a long time about the infamous Spider-Man 3. There's a trailer coming tomorrow. I don't know, but you get what I mean. There's always a trailer coming. There's always something coming. So there's a bunch of plot leaks for Spider-Man 3, which could be true, which might not be true. So take it with a grain of salt or a pinch of salt, as we say here in England. So it's interesting that there's a very detailed one, then there's a less detailed one, and this is where it gets interesting. Is it's pretty interesting. So Reddit user Spidey245. Now this is interesting as I spoke to one of the best inside sources who actually told me the cameo for the Falcon Winter Soldier was actually the Kill Bill star. Fake news was there, but this user actually guessed the cameo for Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and no one else did. So this person does actually have credibility to a certain degree that he got that one right. But what's interesting is, just like with Avengers 3 and Avengers 4, you're going to get everyone covering a bunch of plot leaks, and we don't know if anything's right. Everyone can say that Tobey and Andrew and Warstu were in this, but realistically, yes, Andrew's stunt double, Tobey Maguire's stunt double, and Warstu's stunt double were all in Atlanta when they were filming. So potentially it could be true. Now, from what I've been told from behind the scenes, from real inside sources, yes, they do appear in the movie, but not as much as people would think. So we're going to go over both plot leaks. Why not? And I'll tell you what is going on. So this one here is interesting. It says, so might not be exactly what happens, but I'd say 75% to make the final cut. So essentially saying there's a load of BS around there, but 75% of this will make the final cut. So this one, I will leave them down below, not like other people. I'll actually leave both the links down below so you can find them both yourself. So it says the big theme is refugee. Yes, that's super SJW, but it's not as bad as it sounds. It's about to open borders and stuff like that. The movie, we open up with Spider-Man being chased through a broken New York City by some type of human thunderstorm. The electric takes a human shape, and it turns out to be Jamie Foxx. Now, we did know Jamie Foxx promoted it on his Instagram, and then he pulled it. So Jamie Foxx is in this movie. He just got in trouble for posting something. Yeah, Alfred and Molina basically posted that he's coming and it's going to pick up from where he died in the original Spider-Man. And in this universe, no one dies. So he's literally confirmed some variants of the Spideyverse. He confronts our Spider-Man saying he knows who he is and unmasks him. And it is in fact Tobey Maguire. So you're telling me the movie's going to kick open with Tobey Maguire. Interesting. Before Tobey is killed, even more interesting. Reality around them fractures. Boom, Marvel opening credits. We book up right where we left off from Far From Home, which realistically should be where it places. Tom has just seen the broadcast that he's rushing home desperately, contacting Aunt May and Happy. He reaches his home and tells Aunt May they have to hide. They will become targets. But it's too late, and an apartment complex is being attacked by Michael Mando and his men. In the ensuing fight, the apartment explodes, and Mando falls down, breaking his back. Aunt May and Tom escape. They seek refuge at Doctor Strange Sanctorium. Okay, so we've seen images of this already, so that doesn't really validate anything. This could be fan fiction. Where they meet Wong, Doctor Strange is busy analyzing several fractures of the reality, which started after the blip, but they have been increasing. Tom wants a spell to reverse the uncovering of his identity. He wants to reverse time to make a deal with the devil. Doctor Strange returns and offers asylum to May, but tells Tom he should solve this in the most likely way, which is in court. In another part of a town, reality stretches again, like the mirror dimension in Strange, and comes out a confused looking Jamie Foxx. The old Avengers Tower now belongs to Oscorp, which is interesting because I broke the story that Norman Osborn was going to be in this movie and he was going to be played by William Dafoe. Interesting. And they in fact are experimenting with fragments, both of the Tesseract Pym particle and traces of the ether found in London. Interesting. Mason is now working on new technology for an unseen Norman Osborn, a more Elon Musk type of guy, less evil, more charismatic. Multiple fractures of reality are reported. Tom Holland stands trial at court, unsuccessfully defended by Matt Murdock, but due to reality ripples, Tom has to rush out of court and goes to a large, strange near the docks. Doctor Strange is trying to contain the anomalies, but Strange is pulled into the anomaly and Tom is unable to save him. He contacts S.H.I.E.L.D. He thought Mysterio lied about the other dimensions, but they believe Mysterio's scheme is actually part of something much bigger, and he had the benefactor. Michael Mando is brought to Michael Keaton, who runs a large repair shop. Vulture owes him for their shared time in prison. They offer up a lot of cash to take care of Michael Mando. With the help of Tinker, they use one of Iron Man 2 drones, Green, to create an exoskeleton for Michael Mando. With the back-based cannon, a confused Jamie Foxx is caught and brought to Oscorp. He is greeted by Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn seems relatively nice. With the disassembled of the Avengers, Norman wants to create his own privatized team of superheroes. As told by his advisors, he's been getting messages from another reality by none other than William Dafoe. The Norman Osborn is given hints how to quantum portal to connect both realities. This is one of the few surviving realities. The other realities are desperate to come here. The villains in this movie all come from realities that have mostly been destroyed. Norman Osborn believes himself to be some kind of Tony Stark and is building his own group of superheroes. Shelters are being built from the reality displaced. People built by the GCR debates are held about this. Taking in refugees from other realities, missing people, duplicates, and like are taken care of amongst them. Ben Parker as one of the few living relatives. Aunt May is contacted, and even Tom learns of his existence. Ben is happy to see them both, as in his reality, both are dead. Learning from S.H.I.E.L.D., the anomaly is coming from the old Avengers tales. Our Spider-Man enters and confronts Oz with the intentions of shutting down the machine. Spider-Man is still a wanted villain. Norman tells him of his persistent chance. The idea of something simple, inevitable, as if reality converges to certain events, like how most realities have Spider-Man. He thought labeling the Spider-Man a criminal would be enough, but he flushes this with Spider-Man down the drain into the alternate reality. Tom wakes up in a ravaged Earth, not destroyed by Thanos, but by ego. Humanity has moved underground, where Dr. Ock is taking care of survivors. Tom is able to lead them into another fracture of reality. They pass multiple different realities. They come across two other Spider-Men. Tom learns the feeling of seeking refuge and has to find a way home. But the title of the movie is Spider-Man No Way Home, so yeah, I guess this could be a coincidence. Following the trail Doctor Strange left behind. In his own reality, Norman Osborn completes the quantum tunnel, bridging his reality, and the other Norman Osborn enters and promptly kills him. This is a hostile takeover. William Dafoe wants to enjoy this reality, lavish in luxury. The Spider-Man eventually find Doctor Strange trapped in a dimension and returns to the reality. It is a little like Back to the Future 2. Things have been taken over by Oscorp as time has passed for several months. It has become highly militarized. William has several protectors, including Michael Mando, and has an upgraded suit with Stinger. There's the final battle, which takes place over several ravaged versions of New York, including one with the Dark Elves. Eventually, Tom will have to turn the quantum tunnel off, which will condo all of the other Earths to their fate. The reality dispelled people refract and go back to their own realities. Aunt May says goodbye to Ben once again, as does Tom and his two Spider-Man bros. They say he's lucky and needs to take good care of this world. The ending sequence, the dead body of R. Norman Osborn is revived by Dr. Connor, tingling his skin with the green Q. To be honest, guys, that kind of sounds like a bit like fan fiction to me. But what is interesting is there's another one. This one is by a Reddit user. I mean, I'll put the links down below. But this one here is getting a bit more traffic because this one is by Spider-Man Forever 245, who got the cameo role right, but people like Daniel RPK implied it was someone different. So who's credible? Well, at the moment, if you're going off last performance, this person here is more credible. Yeah, it essentially says the movie starts off where Far From Home left off, and there's a time skip. Okay, maybe that's true. Peter is in court, and there's a lot going on. I mean, there were reports of a court being built. He's trying to prove his innocence. Doctor Strange calls out there is something going on in the multiverse is breaking. Okay, so far there's nothing in this which doesn't make sense. Villains are going around from other Earths into others. Okay, that makes sense based on what Dr. Ock said, aka Alfred Molina, recently said how he comes back. Doctor Strange is trying to capture them and put them in a special prison made by him. Again, makes sense. The villain somehow escapes because Peter, Tom Holland, messes with stuff, probably in the Sanctum Sanctorum. Okay, makes sense. Now this is where it gets suspicious. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in the second and third act of the movie. How they met or how they come into Tom Holland's world is unknown. I mean, interesting how they don't know how it's happening. Interesting, but everyone seems to think this is true. They both help him catch as the villains. There are scenes in the movie with just Tom Holland, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield alone. The movie's final act is at the Statue of Liberty that now looks like a big Captain America with a shield. Okay, there were images floating around of that. All the villains are with with their Tom Holland Spider-Man, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, Stark Arc Reactor in the present scene. Every villain is trying to get their hands on it for something. That's not clear. Interesting. All of the villains are defeated and put back into the prison by Doctor Strange. All of them except for William Dafoe, Green Goblin, who Warstu dropped that information originally. Goblin kills someone major. This person is not sure of who it is. Okay. Tom Holland Peter was crying and enraged. He tries to kill Green Goblin but wasn't successful in doing so. Movie ends with Peter finishing high school. Not clear what happened to Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield because they're not in the freaking movie. They could be. Like I said, guys, I don't take things too serious. I mean, this plot leak does seem interesting. This guy did get the cameo role right and others didn't. Now, what's interesting, it says at the start of the arc of the Reddit post, I will put a link down below, unlike others. Now, the same user leaked some info on Spider-Man No Way Home 2 days ago. So, considering he got the kind of cameo role right, it could be legit. I'd like to share some of what was said. So, these things are about to mention are most likely not the full extent. So, what's interesting is we have two plot leaks here. One that is crazy long and one that is shorter. Both have parts that could be true. We know he's on the run. We know Jamie Foxx is going to be in it because he did the clout chasing on Instagram and then he basically deleted everything. Alfred Molina's just come out and said he's in it as well, and it would only make sense if the respective Spider-Man in it. So there could be parts of this that could be real, but I'm not going to say 100% confirmed real plot leak. It's our plot leak. Like, if you go back and look at all the Infinity War and Endgame plot leaks, parts can be right. People can guess parts based on what's being seen. We know there's a courtroom. We know stuff like that. So you can base some of this prerequisite could be real. So let me know down below. And as Kevin Feige said, it is about the multiverse. We know that part's true. So this might not be true. It might be real. It might be fake. I don't know. Who cares? But let me know down below, guys. What do you think is going on? I will put the links to both the Reddit plot leaks down below and you can have a conversation down below. And as I said on the community tab, you guys want the Marvel videos back. So we're going to start covering much more Marvel. But don't worry, the current Monsterverse and DCEU content and Snyderverse stuff isn't going anywhere. I just want to start talking some Marvel stuff. So check us out on Instagram at Warstu if you want to see the face behind the voice. Also check us out on Twitter, WarstuG, aka The Nightmare. And I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.